Gullickson against Charlie Hudson in the final of this 5-game series. We'll mention again Saturday afternoon. Tomorrow's pitchers, we did mention Dick Ruthven against Steve Rogers, a 135 start. Ferguson Jenkins will go Saturday against Ray Burris. We'll return with the start of the game in a moment. Montreal on top by 2. The fans giving that a cheer. So a big weekend with the Cubs, starting Friday through Monday. The reason that's a 5 o'clock game on Monday is because the Expos will be flying to Philadelphia after the game. The Cubs will fly home for a Tuesday afternoon game. So we have to play that one at 5 o'clock. The Mets beat the Cardinals 7-5. The Expos are taking the field. The winning pitcher, Diaz, he's 2-1. The losing pitcher, Van Olen, he's 1-2. Gullickson has completed his warm-up pitches. Coming to the plate, Bob Dernier. To bring you the action, here's Dave.
Thanks, Duke, and hi again, everybody. Glad to have you aboard for tonight's game. Bob Dernier, Pete Rose, and Joe Morgan will go up against Bill in the first inning. Phillies playing their 62nd game. They've got a record of 29-32. And they've really struggled on the road. They've won just 13 road games. And they've lost 21. Bob Dernier, right-handed batter, is in there, hitting .227. And Gullickson's first pitch of the night. Swung on a miss. Strike one. We're underway. Missed outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch fouled back by Dernier. That hit the screen behind the plate. They lost 2 to the Cardinals. And that started off the trip, losing 2 out of 3 at St. Louis. Then they went into Pittsburgh. Played a 3-game series with the Pirates. Won 2 of those. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Dernier. And now here have managed 1 win and 3 losses so far in the first 4 games of this long 5-game series. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dernier. Scully delivers. And Dernier pops it up foul back behind the screen at the home plate area. Into the he's got it. 1 away. Dernier is out on the pop-up to Oliver. And Pete Rose will step in. The 42-year-old veteran plays in his 684th consecutive game tonight, the 12th longest streak in baseball history. He hasn't missed a game since August of 1978. Here's the pitch to Rose. Outside, ball 1. He's batting left-handed against Bill Gullickson. The Expos right-hander checks in, and here is the pitch. Rose takes that inside. 2 balls and no strikes to Pete. Pete's batting average is at .261. The windup and the 2-0 pitch. And Rose hits a line drive toward center. Dawson racing over to right center. He's got it. Andre flagged one down. Where those long strides sure paid off. Rose nailed that ball just to the right of straightaway center. Dawson was playing him the other way, ran straight across the outfield, and made a good running catch.
Well, the defensive alignment that time had Dawson in left center. He had a long way to go, and the big glove played a big part in that catch. He got that big glove up there, and the ball hit in the top portion of it. But Andre, with those long strides, as Dave mentioned, just eats up the real estate.
2 outs, and Joe Morgan will bat. The second baseman's hitting .216. The pitch, and Joe takes a strike. Joe said, I've been hitting the ball hard. Al Oliver agreed with him. He said, the trouble is, when you're batting .300 and you hit the ball hard right at people, you just laugh it off. But when you're hitting .216 and you hit the ball right at people, you can't laugh about it. The 1-strike pitch, swung on, missed. Strike 2. Gullickson with 2 down. Goes to work. 2-strike pitch to Morgan, low and in. Veteran Ed Bargo, who worked the plate Tuesday night, is behind the plate again tonight. The 1-2 pitch. Gullickson took something off it, and it was fouled down and caught a piece of Gary Carter's right foot. A ball and 2 strikes to Morgan. A big shift around to the right defensively for Joe. He said for 2 weeks he couldn't pull the ball hard to right field. He walked in here and suddenly he's been able to pull it. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Can't pull what you can't see. And Gullickson threw that right by him. A strikeout for Bill, and that's it for the Phillies. It's gone 1-2-3 after a half inning of play. Philadelphia, nothing. The Expos are coming to bat. Those are coming up with Raines, Little, and Dawson up against Charlie Hudson. Pitcher they haven't seen before. He's 24 years old. A Texan. Stands 6'3", weighs 185. In the minor leagues, he has struck out quite a few batters. He has 26 strikeouts in 33 2/3 innings pitched in the major leagues. Charlie Hudson. Out to have a quick visit with him before he faces Raines is the catcher, Ozzie Virgil. An outfield of Matthews, Dernier, and Hayes from left to right. Pete Rose at first with Morgan at second. DeJesus plays at short and Schmidt at third. Phillies in their blue road uniforms with dark red, almost a burgundy trim. The Expos in their home whites. We're ready. Here's the pitch. And it's low. Ball 1. Raines batting left-handed. He's hitting .272 now. Had the grand slam home run to win last night's ball game. Now has 30 runs batted in. That was his 4th home run of the season. The 1-0 pitch to Timmy. Fouled away left side. He now leads the league in steals with 27. He's hitting .341 in the last 10 games. But he's not just hitting. He's doing the job on the bases, driving in runs, scoring runs. That's the big deal. He's scoring runs. Pitches up high, ball 2, 2-1. Because that's a reflection on what's happening after Raines gets on base. So the club's starting to make things happen. Raines has scored 15 runs in the last 10 games. He chops one foul off to the right side of the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Tim. Charlie Hudson was just drafted in the summer of '81 by the Phillies, so he's come up quickly. Started out this year at Portland. They're AAA, at the AAA level. And he was 6-3 with a 2.67 ERA. And he struck out 51 in 64 innings there. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Raines swings and lines the ball past Morgan out into right center. Dernier comes over to pick it up, and Raines is on base with a line drive single. Brian Little will come to the plate.
Tim hit that ball off the end of the bat, but it sort of sliced away from Joe a bit. Joe tried to catch up, almost made a great catch.
Schmidt will play in a bit at third base. Rose will hold Raines. DeJesus and Morgan at double play depth. Charlie Hudson got his hands full here with Tim Raines at first base. He throws on to first, and it's scooped up by Rose. Of course, Raines will get a look here at Hudson's move. Again, seeing a pitcher the Expos haven't seen. Unless some of them saw him in winter ball where he played for Bobby Wine's club. Here's the pitch, and that's high. 1 ball and no strikes. The players in the clubhouse and in the meetings before a pitcher like Hudson goes against the team, they'll all exchange information, and those players who played some winter ball or have seen Hudson in spring training or anywhere at all will fill in as much information as they can about the young right-hander. Hudson again checks Raines and his lead at first base. And a toss to first. Timmy's back on the base.
Well, Dave, according to Richie Ashburn, Hudson is a very good athlete, has a good move to first, feels his position well, does all the little things exceptionally well, besides being an outstanding young pitcher.
The pitch and a strike called on Bryant. 1 ball and 1 strike. Little stepping out, and he's taking a look at Billy DeMars. The Expos third base coach, Andre Dawson, is on deck. Tim extending his lead, and Hudson gives him a look. Here's the pitch. A pitch out. Raines isn't going. It's ball 2. Not only is Raines trying to figure out the pitcher, Charlie Hudson, the Phillies are trying to figure out when Raines might be going. Well, that time they attempted to head him off at the pass, but Tim wasn't moving. 2 balls and 1 strike to Bryant. Hudson again with a long look and that quick move to first base. Timmy's back in safely. Fans reacting to the scoreboard here. Hudson making his 6th start since his recall in late May. He's at the belt. And the 2-1 pitch taken by Little, low and outside, ball 3.
What Hudson's trying to do is speed up his delivery. It's almost like a quick pitch in a way to keep Raines from stealing. That he's hurrying it up so much that he's wild with his pitches to the plate.
And is behind 3-1 on Brian Little. Brian is still out of the batter's box. Hudson lost his first major league start to the Dodgers. They beat him May 31st at Dodger Stadium 4-1. He's ready to work. Raines goes. Pitch taken by Little. Throw to second. Not in time. Tim Raines again with a head-first slide. But he had that made. Number 28.
I know one fellow's going to be happy to get out of town. It's going to be Ozzie Virgil. He hasn't come close to throwing Raines out.
28 now for Tim. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's the count on Brian Little. Raines is at second. None out. 5 stolen, make it 6 stolen bases in the series. Isn't that right? Here's a pop-up. And the catcher comes back toward the screen, but Ozzie can't get to it. It's back into the seats. Let me go back and see. Well, he started the series off with 22. He now has 28. 6 stolen bases in this series for Tim Raines. Didn't take him long to get going either. He had 2 the first night. Little with a .251 batting average, 21 runs batted in, has a chance to do something here. Drive him in or at least get him to third. The pitch, Brian pulls the ball foul first base side. A good try. Got the pitch in. Still 3-2 to Brian. I mentioned that Hudson lost his first big league start. He then pitched 3 no decisions against the Padres, the Pirates, and the Cardinals, and then beat Pittsburgh Sunday at Three Rivers Stadium and logged his first major league win. Now he's out here tonight against Bill Gullickson. And Charlie Hudson has his hands full in the first inning with Raines at second base, none out. Hudson checks the runner, kicks and delivers. And Bryant takes low, ball 4. A base on balls issued to Brian Little. And Andre Dawson's coming up. Let's see, Brian has now walked 24 times in the 52 games he's played in. He draws a lot of walks. Dawson up, batting .327. Hawk number 2 in the league. George Hendrick is batting .344. And then Hawk at .327, and he's got company. Knight and Murphy are tied with Hawk. The pitch to Dawson, low, ball 1. Dawson ranks in the top 5 of 9 major offensive categories in the league. He's tied with Murphy for the league RBI lead at 54. Here's the pitch to Hawk. And with a check swing, the pitch was low and away. Plate umpire said he didn't go, and at first base, Scott Grinder said no swing. 3-0 on Dawson. Make it 2-0. Hudson looks at second, deals to Hawk. Make it 3-0. Al Oliver's on deck. Well, the fans are just buzzing here. It's always nice to see some runs go up early, isn't it? Boy, pitchers love it. Hudson with a 3-0 pitch. Dawson takes one. It's a strike. In almost a month now, Andre has hit .348. The 3-1 pitch to Dawson. Fouled away to the seats, back to our right. 3-2. Boy, Ozzie Virgil did a good job last night, didn't he, when Dawson was hit by the pitch? And Marty Bystrom hit Andre, and Andre was upset. And Ozzie went out and put a big bear hug on him, kept talking to him, got him cooled down to where he could finally let him go. Ozzie's a strong man because Hawk is strong. Hudson with a 3-2 pitch. Runners go. Swing and a miss. Throw to third. Raines is safe. Raines and Little move up on a double steal as Dawson struck out. One away.
There's been a lot of catchers in baseball who will throw to second base on that play when they have the play in front of them and see the kind of jump that the runner gets at second base. There are times that the runner at first will not get as good a jump, and they'll surprise them by getting them at second base. It might have been able to take place that time. There was no chance to get Raines at third.
Sure wasn't. His second steal of the game, Little with 1. So Brian now has 4, and Tim now has 29. One out. Al Oliver coming up. Pat Corrales. Claude Osteen went out to talk to the pitcher, Charlie Hudson, the youngster.
I think they're telling him first base is open now. Be real careful. They don't care if he walks it.
Hudson, right-hander, deals to the left-handed batter, and it's hit foul way down the left side.
That was a quality fastball up and in, or about letter high.
One away, second and third for the runners. Hudson deals outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Al. Last year's batting champion. Needs a hit here to nudge his batting average up to 300.
Just about have to walk him right here.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Low and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. One thing you got to do is really have an idea what you're doing out there, because Al is such an aggressive hitter, and he can go out of the strike zone to get a baseball that'll hurt you. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And a ground ball, base hit up the middle. Here's Raines home to score. Here comes Little home to score. The Expos lead 2-0 on Oliver's single up the middle past Charlie Hudson. Al Oliver, with his 30th and 31st runs batted in, stands at first base. Charlie Hudson might have learned a lesson there.
Well, I really think it's up to the manager in that situation. Just tell him, hey, 4. Let's see if we can get Wallach to strike out or hit into a double play. You're going against a quality hitter in Oliver, who makes his bread and butter year in and year out getting base hits.
Tim Wallach batting .267, right-handed batter. The pitch to Tim, it's low, ball 1. Wallach with 8 home runs, 29 runs batted in.
I wouldn't say that if I hadn't just said a little bit before. I'd walk Al in this situation.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've probably talked about that as much as anything the last couple of years. Finding the guy that you want to pitch to, that you have the higher percentage chance of getting out in run-scoring situations.
And if you got the bases loaded and you're a pitcher like Charlie Hudson has shown in the past of having good control, not walking very many batters, although he walked Brian Little.
Yeah.
The thing is, you get the bases loaded, but yet he more likely won't walk Tim Wallach. He doesn't walk that much. He leaves the plate swinging, so you've got more chances to get an out with the bases loaded.
The left fielder's deep for Tim. Here's a 2-0 pitch. He swings and fouls one out of play. Just off to the right side. 2 balls and 1 strike to Tim Wallach. Bottom of the first, the Expos have scored 2. Raines and Little are home. Oliver, who drove them in, is at first base. Double play depth for the infield. The 2-1 pitch inside. Ball 3, 3-1. Charlie Hudson has just walked 8 batters in his first 33 big league innings, 33 plus, and had those strikeouts, 27 now. Wallach hits the ball on the ground to third with Oliver going. They don't have a chance at 2. Schmidt will throw to first base for the out. Oliver's at second. 2 down.
And another thing you can't say, now that Wallach grounded out to third base, you can't say that, well, if they'd have walked Oliver, the Phillies would have had a double play, because things change completely. The catcher calls for different pitches with the bases loaded. The whole sequence has changed. You don't know that you'd have gotten that same pitch and Wallach would have grounded out into a double play. It happened that way after the fact.
Yeah. Carter up, batting .248. Gary takes a pitch high, ball 1. But we'll never know. Tim Wallach might have hit a grand slam home run.
That's right.
Jumping on the first fastball. Here's the 1-0 pitch. A strike to Gary. 1 ball, 1 strike. Oliver at second with 2 away. Carter with 28 RBIs, a chance for 29 here. The 1-1 pitch, and it's hit on the ground to Schmidt. He scoops it up at third and throws to first. Gary's out. So that's it for the Expos, but they scored 2 runs on 2 hits and a walk. 3 stolen bases, 2 of them by Raines. 1 was left on base after an inning. The Expos lead 2-0. You're listening to Expos Baseball at 1350 CKAR, Oshawa.
The very best days of summertime. Sit back and here we go. Summertime. See a new summer show. The greatest ride you
of Fire, Thursday, June 30th through Sunday, July 3rd. See brilliant dueling lasers, spectacular fireworks exploding the music, and an eruption of Wonder Mountain, all at no extra charge. Now you can go to Loblaws and get your coupon to save $4 on a park passport. And remember, until June 30th, you can get Canada's Wonderland season passes for just $29.95, a $10 savings. Then say, I'm going to Canada's Wonderland, going to Canada's Wonderland, going.
Summer has finally arrived, and Carpet Warehouse celebrates with a swing into summer sale. Their entire warehouse is packed with no-wax vinyl flooring, and it's all on sale. Here are just a few specials. 100% nylon Saxony carpet for the living room or bedroom, just $6.95 a square yard. Armstrong no-wax vinyl flooring starts at low $4.95 a square yard. And artificial turf from only $2.49 a square yard. Celebrate summer and save big during the swing into summer sale, only at Carpet Warehouse. 149 King Street West, Oshawa.
For the Phillies in the second, Mike Schmidt, Von Hayes, and Gary Matthews. 2-0 Expos. Mike Schmidt is batting .249 with 14 home runs and 43 runs batted in. Schmidt in against Bill Gullickson. Gully goes to work. The big right-hander fires a strike. The Expos will entertain the Cubs over the weekend and Monday, and then go to Philadelphia. Well, the Phillies have got a lot of games coming up. The one-strike pitch. Strike two to Schmidt. Phils have a scheduled doubleheader with the Mets this Sunday at Shea Stadium to wind up their road trip. And then they have 7 more Twin Bills remaining on their schedule. 6 of them are make-up doubleheaders, including the one this coming Tuesday night against the Expos at Veterans Stadium. Wow. The 0-2 pitch, up and in to Schmidt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We should go over, and I will in just a moment here, go over the starting times and the schedule of games with the Cubs. With 3 different starting times for the series. The 1-2 pitch, that missed inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mike Schmidt. Schmidt against Gullickson this year, 2 for 6. The pitch, and that missed high. 3-2 after getting ahead 0-2 with 2 quick strikes. Gully has fallen behind. Gullickson taking a walk on the mound. Schmidt trying to get settled in the box. Neither player ready. Von Hayes waiting on deck. Now Bill rocks back, kicks and delivers, and Schmidt swings and misses. Gully struck him out. 2 strikeouts now here early in the game for Bill Gullickson. Schmidt struck out twice last night. He has struck out 6 times in this series. He's also done some hitting. Von Hayes, the right fielder, batting .262, a left-handed batter. Gullickson works to Hayes, who shortens up on the bat and takes a pitch outside. As he shortened up, Wallach broke to move in from third base. In the second game of the Tuesday night doubleheader, Schmidt had a RBI double and a 2-run home run. The game the Expos went on to win on Dawson's home run in 12 to gain a split in the doubleheader. In the first game of the doubleheader, Schmidt had a single and a home run. So it's kind of been feast or famine for Mike Schmidt. 2-0 on Von Hayes, the pitch. And it's hit on the ground off Oliver's glove. A diving stop by Little. He throws to Gullickson covering, but not in time to get Mike Von Hayes. Good try by Al. Broke to his right. Got some leather on it and slowed it down. Then Brian dove on top of the ball and smothered it. And Gully hustled over there, but Von Hayes beat it out with good speed.
He has very good speed. Tall, lanky young man, and he's got a chance to hit for a good average because of his speed, and the ball jumps off his bat.
So Hayes is on with an infield hit, and Gary Matthews comes up with a 9-game batting streak. He's batting .252. And Von Hayes at first base takes a big, aggressive lead. The Expos lead the game 2-0. The pitch to Matthews is fouled off at the plate. Hayes in the minor leagues had a couple of 300-plus seasons. In his rookie year at Waterloo in 1980 in the Indian system, he hit .329. Then at AAA rather, in 81, he hit .314. He's hit for good average there. The pitch missed. Ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that speed is evidenced by the 51 steals he had in the 1980 season, 34 steals at Charleston in 81. He stole 32 bases with the Indians last year. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. I think Von Hayes is still going through the learning process.
Play. So an excuse me shot right back to Hudson, and the Phillies get a double play. 1-4-3. And Gary Carter will come to the plate. Gary grounded a third in the first inning. Had his average up to .248. Dropped a point or so with that 0 for 1. Charlie Hudson, 6'3", 185-pounder. It's his first year in the big leagues. Gary now batting .247, so he dropped 1 point. 7 home runs, 28 RBI. And as we've mentioned several times here lately, he's well overdue for a home run. Pitch inside for a ball, the count 1-1. He's over a month now without a home run. Carter takes down and in for a ball. The count 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, there's a cold front on the way, and I think it arrived. We have some clouds overhead. No threat of rain right now anyway. Hopefully we'll get this one in. Gary is a line drive to left. Going for it, Matthews. He won't catch it. It's off the wall. And Gary's got himself a double. And the ball is bobbled by the center fielder. Carter goes to third. It's bobbled by the pitcher. And Diaz right in front of the coach. Not Diaz, but Virgil in front of the Philadelphia bench comes up for the ball. Boy, that ball was hot. It hit the wall. Denier came up with it, bobbled it. Gary went to third. That should be a double and an error. And then the throw got by third. The pitcher backing up third, about halfway towards home in foul territory. It got by him off his glove, went to his left, and fortunately the catcher, Ozzie Virgil, was over there. A double and an error on the center fielder. We saw that error. Here's Cromartie batting .309. Carter at third with 2 outs. Pitch gets by Virgil. Carter's coming in. He'll score. We'll wait for the official score to rule whether it was a pass ball or a wild pitch. Wild pitch. Oh, the Expos get another run. My, how easy the runs come sometimes. Other times you can't buy one. 4-1 Expos. Cromartie now batting with no one on base. Walk in the second inning. The left-handed batter waiting. Charlie Hudson, the big windup. Crow hits a chopper foul to the right side, a high chopper. And the dirt portion of the home plate area, very, very hard. We have not had any rain. I'm not watering it much. We've seen a couple of high choppers for base hits here. It's like concrete around the home plate area. The 1-1 pitch. Curveball high, ball 2. In fact, there are cracks down there in the dirt. The 2-1 pitch. A little bit low. 3-1 the count. Ball hit off Virgil's shin guard and rolled all the way to the Expo dugout. 3-1 the count. The Phillies playing very loose baseball in this game. Cromartie has a good cut, fouls the ball straight back. Might have been a ball, but he saw it well, had a pretty good cut. Count 3-2. Cromartie in his crouch with the 3-2 count. The pitch. A chopper towards second. Morgan's got it chest high. Throw to first in time for the out. Phil Gullickson with a 3-run lead now. Expos leading 4-1. Morgan struck out in the first inning. Came into the game batting .216. Has 42 walks. Schmidt leads the league with 49. Gullickson in the big windup. Morgan batting .214. Pops one up into right field. Cromartie under it. Backs up a step or two now to make the play. 1 out. It might have been a little bit deeper than a pop-up. It's a high fly ball. Some 20 feet from the warning track. Had a lot of height to it. Mike Schmidt will be the batter. He struck out in the second inning. So the big right-handed batter, sort of feast or famine with Mike right now. He hits one out of the park now and then. He's having trouble making contact. 14 home runs. Evans and Guerrero have 19. Mike Schmidt takes a strike. Batting .248. 43 RBIs. We mentioned he's walked 49 times. Here's a ground ball in the hole at short. Spires got it. The one bounce throw to Oliver. In time for the out. The only thing Spire could do, get rid of it in a hurry, throw a bouncer to first on the AstroTurf, and you get sure hops off the AstroTurf, and Oliver made the play. 2 out. Saw Larry Boa first start to do that with the Phillies. And some shortstops who play on AstroTurf a lot have started doing it. Throwing one hoppers to first from the hole. On grass and dirt, a little bit different, a little tougher to do. Vaughn Hayes, the batter, 1 for 1. He takes a strike. Hayes has scored the only Philadelphia run when he singled, stole second, and scored on Ozzie Virgil's double. Batting .267. Left-handed batter takes down and in for a ball. Count 1-1. Tomorrow afternoon, holiday day game, 1:35 start, 1:20 airtime. Dick Ruthven, 4-4 against Steve Rogers. His record 9-3. Fastball for a strike to count 1-2. Rogers going after his 10th win tomorrow. Dave Dravecki of the Padres got his 11th win as the Padres swept the Dodgers 4 straight in L.A. That usually takes some doing. A ground ball towards second. Brian Little's got it. Flips throw to first base in plenty of time for out number 3.
For the Expos, 24-year-old
Bill Gullickson. Gullickson 7-8 this year and a 4.13 ERA. We'll tell you more about Gully in a few moments. We'll return with the start of the game in a moment. So for this game tonight, Bill Verdon at home plate, exchanging the lineup cards with the umpires. We still don't have an announcement on exactly who and where the umpires will be, so we'll wait on that as the Phillies take the field. We'll tell you more about Bill Gullickson. 24 years old, 6'3", 215-pounder. He's 36 lifetime now, 12-14 last year, 3.57 ERA, 7-8 this year, 102 1/3 innings of work. He's given up 98 hits, 62 strikeouts. He has walked 31. This is 16th start, 5 complete games, and a 4.13 ERA. And the Phillies going with their regular lineup in this ball game, except for Gary Maddox. Bob Manero will be in center field. Maddox out with an injury. And Bo Diaz back in the lineup. He had a leg problem, but he's back in there for this first game. Be interesting to see who's in the lineup for both teams in the second game. Well, the All-Star balloting is over, and we should have an announcement sometime during this first game as to how many Expos made the starting lineup. The first 8 will be announced today. The rest of the squad will be announced a few days from now. Marty Bystrom, a right-hander, taking his warm-up pitches. Tonight is Panavision night. June 28th, Panavision night. They've got a big board up there like VistaVision or Diamond Vision, and they're going to have a big show between games of